Alright, Dad, here's the phone in action here. I was gonna set up my tripod and do a comparison of this phone to the phone I'm using to film this with, so you can kind of see some of the differences and whatever and what all, but I can't find all the pieces of the tripod, so I'm sitting on the floor in the bedroom. I guess it'll get the job done. Anyway, as you can see, I got everything kind of set up here, more or less. So I go over some of the stuff that I think is different between this phone and then the Windows phones that you've had. I'm sure you probably already see on here, I got a whole bunch of different apps downloaded already that you probably didn't have access to with the Windows Store. And I think more than anything, that might be one of the coolest things about having this phone, or an iPhone too, over what you've had experience with it on the Windows phone. Because as you know, there's just not a whole lot of apps available out there for you. You've already messed with it, so you kind of know. I didn't know this, but to take the cover off the back, I would just kind of slide my fingernails around the edge here, and then I saw this button, and then I see that if you press that button, it just it comes off. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that was a thing. So if you knew that, you're one step up on me already. And you know how the SIM card goes in there, and then you could put a memory card in the back over the SIM card if you wanted to, but I don't think either of those are going to be a big deal. There's a test selfie that I made earlier, but I'll show you that too. So right now I have my fingerprint set up on here, just to make sure the fingerprint sensor worked like I thought it should, and it does. The fingerprint sensor that's on here, this phone being made by LG, the one that's on here is actually, I've had a lot of phones. This one works the best out of any phone I've ever had. It's the same exact sensor that was on they called it a Nexus 5X phone that I had 2 or 3 years ago. And it's lightning fast, and it's totally accurate, and I really, really enjoyed that sensor. Boom, like that, it just works. The ones on the newer phones, and I wish I could show you, instead of being a circle, they're more oblong, and they just don't work as well. So that works really well. The cameras seem to work just fine on the front and the back. I haven't actually tried the speakers yet, but I hear them making noise when it seems like they should, so I think that's fine. I don't have a SIM card in here right now, but that's all right. It is on my Wi-Fi. All the problems, so I have your email set up, and so here's your email app that we're going to use, and click on it here, and you can see there it's got your emails in there, and everything is syncing just fine the way it should be. The main problem with that was this thing it was like 4 security updates, and then 1 software operating system update, and then 2 more security updates I had to go through before I could really get anything to work. And once all that was done, everything is working totally a-okay. It signed in your email without a hitch. So that was the problem with it. All the cellular stuff works just fine. However, like I texted you, we're going to have to mess around with those APN settings again when you get the phone back and get it to work with TrackPhone. And I wish I had a TrackPhone SIM here I could test it out with, but I just don't. We've been through it enough. I think we can figure it out. Okay, so let's see. I'll just pretend like, so I'm going to erase my fingerprints before I send this to you. You're going to hit the power button on the back there. You press it like you know, and it's going to come up to this. The pin is what we always make it. Okay, and then you can get into your phone like that. I'm trying to figure out what I should go over first. Let's just go with fingerprints. So we'll click on settings, and then Android makes this really easy now to where if you don't know where a setting is, you just search for it. So you hit the little magnifying glass, type in, I didn't even get the whole word in there, and it says lock screen and security fingerprints. Yes, that's what we want. So come down here, select screen lock. Got a pin code and fingerprints you can choose from. Come into here, pin again. Okay, and down here, okay. When it talks about biometrics, saved fingerprints, those are both mine. Okay, maybe that's not what I want. Oh, I'm sorry, down here. Don't go to lock screen, come down here to this biometrics. Okay. And then there we've got finger 1 and 2, which again, they're both mine. But like I said, I'm going to delete them. In fact, I'll delete fingerprint 2 right now. Okay, and then add fingerprint is what you're going to do. And you've already done this, you know the routine. You just keep tapping your finger on the back there the way it shows you until it's happy. And then add more. What I generally do on my phones is I add both index fingers, the left one and the right one. That's the only finger I ever really use to unlock the phone. You can put, I think, up to like 5 or 10 or something like that on there if you want. But that's what I do, just the 2 index fingers. Okay. And then unlock screen with your fingerprint. You want to make sure that's checked on. And once you have that, that'll be your fingerprint set up. I think that's the main part I want to show you here, is just how to get to that. Again, I'm not sure how this may or may not be similar to the Windows phones, but to access a lot of things on Android, you just swipe down from the top, swipe down a second time, and it gives you like a quick shortcut to a lot of things people commonly use. So like Wi-Fi, I had the Wi-Fi off. Tap it and then it's on or off. Now it's back on. If you want to turn your Bluetooth on, you just tap it. And this is all accessed with, okay, yeah, we don't care. Just to swipe down from the top, and that'll get you this part. You swipe down again and it'll expand it. Swipe up and it compresses it. Your screen brightness is here. I think the Windows phone is pretty close to this. I've got it set on auto, but if you don't like what it's doing on auto, you just slide it around. Usually the automatic settings are pretty good now. You'll get a lot of notifications from Android, and to access them, you'll see notifications up here in this corner. And if you want to see what they are, you're going to swipe down and it'll tell you. Messenger is displaying over other apps, blah, 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 blah. To get rid of it, most of the time you just swipe. Well, of course this one's not going to do it. You just swipe to the left or right and it just totally disappears. This one's not going to do that. Make a liar of me. Let's turn your Bluetooth off. I generally have my Bluetooth off unless I'm actively using it for something. You can access your flashlight from here. Or, and you see this up here, there's another way to access that too. The LG V20 has what they call a second screen up here where you see your name up here, and this is different from the main screen. And the fact that you can swipe through things on here is just like shortcuts to whatever. One of the shortcuts they have is that you can access the flashlight from right there. So if you didn't want to if you didn't want to go through the process of swiping down and doing it twice to get to the flashlight, you can, from your second screen up here, you just swipe over and turn it on or turn it off. Same with Bluetooth. That's Wi-Fi. That's your mute button. And then you keep swiping. This is quick access to apps. Anyway, they call this the second screen up here, and I've never had a phone with it. I don't know how useful it may or may not be. That's your Messenger. Well, actually, that's my Messenger I'm logged into. But now you can see you've got a notification up here saying that, hey, there's something going on, and that looks like the email icon to me. You swipe down, and then it tells you. That's, oops, I didn't mean to click on it. Now it's gone. Anyway, it's just giving you a heads up, like a preview of what that is. It's your phone dialer, of course. Make a phone call. Here are your contacts, which synced beautifully. No problems there. I've got Waze on here. So this is the one that Sally has, and it works really good. A lot of times when you start it up just like this, it's going to have some, I don't know, hints or suggestions for you. You can use them or not. I usually just do whatever. To dismiss them, click on the magnifying glass, and let's say I wanted to go to, I don't know, Walmart maybe. Just type in on Walmart, and the selection of them comes up. That Tropical Parkway one is the closest to me. Click on it. You got to hit go about 3 times. I don't know why.
North Wallapai Way, Las Vegas.
Okay, let's do that. If you don't like the talking to you, and I don't, you can mute it from here. Sound off or sound on. I'll leave it on. Some people like that. And that's Waze. Your email, I already showed you set up there. This is a messenger. This is mine. I'm signed into it, but I will sign out of this so you can sign back into it when you get the phone. I downloaded Chase because I remember you have a Chase credit card. I do too. I use the Chase app a lot of times. You'll just have to, on all these things, access. So a lot of these apps, on the first time you use them, are going to ask for permissions to access your photos and media and files. The big name apps, they're well-respected ones. It looks like, hey, why would it be accessing my photos? This is just a generic notification from Android asking for your permission so that it can access system files. It specifically wants to access like directories on your phone so that it can store information about your account on your phone. For example, your password, so you don't have to type it in every single time. Doesn't mean that it's actually going to go through and look at your photos. So a lot of people are put off by that. If it's some random app that we don't know about, yeah, I would be cautious. But things like this, they need access to this in order to work. So click allow in there, and then you're going to sign in with your username and password. And it will probably then prompt you to, hey, would you like to sign in with your fingerprint next time? And if you click yes, you can register your fingerprint with Chase, and then you can just sign in with your fingerprint. And that's generally what I do. Click the circle button to go home. We got Google Maps, which is a bit more of it's kind of like a more granular version of Waze, and it will show where Waze doesn't. Like if you're going down the road, if there's 6 lanes on the road, it'll show you which ones are going straight, turning left, or off ramps to the right, whatever. It's almost so detailed that it can be confusing to me to use if I just need to get to Walmart, I don't use Google Maps. If I need to know the exact distance, the time it'll take to get there, if I want to look at not just a road map, but if I want to look at like a visual representation of where it's at with a satellite view, you click on this little thing, looks like a graduation hat up here, and then you click on satellite, and then you can access the pictures of where you're going. And this I find incredibly useful. We'll look at the park, for example, and then if I've never been to this park, I can look and see, oh, we got a big soccer field, the parking lot's over here, and I kind of already have an idea of what to expect before I even drive there. I probably won't use Google Maps to drive there. I'll use Waze to get there, but I'll use maps ahead of time to see what I'm getting into. That's where I find, personally, to be the best use of Google Maps. Got your little calculator on here, because I use calculator all the time. You've got PayPal on here. I think you have a PayPal account. Same as setting up Chase. Just log in. Very easy to use that way. Settings, YouTube. I know you got Edward Jones, so you got Edward Jones app. click on it, log in, and then you don't have to go to your laptop to sign in and all that stuff. eBay, log in with your eBay account, and then you can buy stuff on here if you want to. Lowe's, I know you have, or I think you have a My Lowe's account with your DD214 registered, which is cool because if you do, when you log into the My Lowe's account and you have a military discount, anything that you buy on the app now will already have your 10% military discount added to it. And so you don't even have to go to the store to get your 10% off with the My Lowe's account, and that's pretty cool. Basic calendar up here. Put your, let's see, if you wanted to do a reminder like December 7th, hey, I need to, I don't know, go to Lowe's, right? Type in Lowe's for the name. We're going to say it's on December 7th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. No, let's say 7:30. So say 7:30. Okay. Or if it was all day, you can make it all day by tapping that. Location, we'll just say Lowe's. You don't even have to put anything in there. If we want a reminder that you have an appointment or an event at Lowe's, you can just tap that thing, add reminder, so that you can get notified, I don't know, an hour before, and so on and so forth. Save your reminder, and now when you come back to the calendar, it'll show you, oh yeah, that's right, I got a thing at Lowe's today. You click on it. Oh, it's already down here, and it gives you the details here. You got a thing at Lowe's from 6 to 7:30, and there is going to be a reminder. Tap on this, and it'll go back in here and tell you all that stuff. I use the calendar on my phone a lot, medical appointments or whatever, just for the reminder detail of it more than like scheduling purposes. Just to, the day before or 2 hours before, I'll set a reminder just so I'm not missing appointments, because it's been known to happen. But let's say, we make this and we're like, oh, it's canceled, I don't need it anymore. That's a little trash can icon there. Hit the trash can, gone. Calendars are good. Let's see, what else can I show you? Here's one. Let's see, let's look for a let's look for a PDF document like an owner's manual. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna download this PDF. It's a Camaro owner's manual, right? So click on this and it says downloading. Okay, and now up here it tells you, or it did tell you, hey, it downloaded this document. And here, we're scrolling through. Yep, we're scrolling through this PDF document, and you're like, oh, that's great. Okay. To get out of it, you can swipe down from the top and click the back button. Or, okay, you can swipe up from the bottom and you can get the home button, which is what I normally do. The problem becomes, and here's a notification saying, hey, this has been downloaded. All right. Eventually it'll go away on its own, even if you don't clear it. And now the problem becomes of a week later, you're like, hey, I already downloaded that Camaro owner's manual. Where is that thing? I added a shortcut on here for downloads right here. So when you click on downloads, this will bring up all of the things that you have downloaded. So here you can see a picture of the vet doing the burnout, and also that owner's manual we just downloaded. And it's just asking you, how do you want to open it? We'll set that viewer. It shouldn't normally ask you that, but this is how you can get back to it. It seems like a lot of people will download things, and then once the notification disappears, they don't remember how to get back to it. So you just click on downloads, and then there it is. And from here, you can also delete it. Just long press it, hold it. Trash can, gone. I put this one on here, Discovery Go. because I use it a lot to catch up on shows that I can't catch on TV because we're watching Dora or Paw Patrol or SpongeBob. Since you have DirecTV, I know this will work for you. You click on this thing, and it's going to ask you to sign in with your DirecTV username and account. Yep, got it. So it's going to show you all this stuff, right? Well, let's say you wanted to watch Gold Rush. We'll click on it, and right here it shows you that that key means these are locked. You can't watch them unless you sign in. So let's just click on that and play episode. And now it's going to say, hey, what service provider do you have? And you have DirecTV now. Click on DirecTV. And now this app is connecting to DirecTV. You're going to enter your... okay, and it just made a liar out of me. You should have to enter in your username and password for DirecTV in order for it to authorize the play of this video. And why it didn't do that just then, I have no idea.
On this Gold Rush.
Huh? Maybe you won't have to, I don't know. But here's the thing. You can just sit here and you can watch the show. You don't have to have it recorded on your DVR. You can just use the Discovery app to watch the show. And like I said, I use this all the time when I was working night shift, just because, you know, even sometimes at work on breaks and things, I would watch this on, watch Gold Rush on my phone, just so I could catch up on the show. And I like it a lot. I think the Motor Trend app will do this too. You probably will have to sign in with your DirecTV login credentials. I don't know why it didn't ask me this time. Maybe it found it through my Wi-Fi network, so maybe that's what it does now. I'm not sure. But if you get prompted for a username and password, that's when you'll have to find out what it is for DirecTV and just log in, and then you can watch whatever you want. The only bad thing about the Discovery app is that it will... Let me turn this down. You will be forced to watch commercials on here a lot. And if you try to fast forward, most of the time it will make you watch a commercial before. See, there you go. And it's almost 3 minutes of commercials. So, and there's no way to fast forward through the commercials. You're a slave to them. It's the only bad thing about this app. Motor Trend might be, in fact, I might download the Motor Trend app and try it and just see. But I use this one a lot just because I watch a lot of Discovery shows. See if it'll load with all the content here. Okay, and anyway, it has all this kind of stuff on here. There's in fact, there's a lot of shows on here that they don't even show on the channel, but you can get a lot of them just on the app that you want to watch. If you want to watch all the old American choppers, they're all on here. It's just that you have to put up with the commercials. So I'm trying to find one. I can't remember the name of it. I really kind of liked it. A little different. It's a father and son doing Twin Turbos is what it's called. They own a shop. Scroll down here to the T's. They own a shop where they put all kinds of cool cars together, and the son is he's a race car driver trying to get in NASCAR, and I enjoyed it quite a bit actually, but I think they've only done maybe 1 or 2 seasons. Where in the world? Oh, there it is, Twin Turbos. So if you're looking for something to watch, this one's kind of cool. Oh, just one episode. But it's another one like we were talking about, Full Custom Garage. Kind of light. It's lighter on the drama and more on the builds. And this father and son team, they're not arguing all the time, or at all, like American Chopper. It's just a cool car show. They do cool things, I think. Okay, I think we covered everything. Well, no, we didn't cover everything here. So on Android, you'll notice that I put what I think are going to be your high-use apps are here. You can swipe over. Here's some other apps that most of these, I actually think all of these were already on the phone. I didn't take them off just because you never know what might be useful. Let's see, I think I will stop this video and get it uploaded, and then I'm going to show you, I think what we'll go over next, we're going to use the Play Store. I'm going to show you how to download apps on here, where they go when they're downloaded, how to move the icons around, and how to use the camera and the text messaging on here. Some pretty cool features, and then kind of finish up with that. Stay tuned for part 2.